Beautiful people, it's me, Kat Wade, and I'm your host on It's Been Said. So happy to be with you today, and my name is Kat Wade, spelt with a K. So excited to be with you this sort of rainy, cozy evening. You know, we are a weekly radio broadcast where we empower individuals for positive living, because a negative mind will never give you a positive life. We are a safe outlet where guests can share their stories on how they have overcome challenges to live their desired life. Storytelling is awesome, and all of us have a story to tell. And our guests will share their personal life stories from their lived perspective. Everyone is born into their once upon a lifetime story. We're just looking for our happily ever after. Happy Magical Monday, beautiful people. We are back after quite an eventful week. You know, we had hurricanes and we had Halloween and we had fallback clocks. Thankful we avoided a hit from Melissa. And our prayers continue for the people in Jamaica and all who've been impacted by these natural disasters. My goodness, wow. Well, you know, one thing I want to talk about is how we are in the month of November and how quickly the weeks are flying by. I also want to remind you, beautiful people, that our charitable partners are Dignity House. Yes, indeed, Dignity House. Now, they've sent an ad about metaphysical. Unfortunately, I didn't get it in time, so I'm going to read it next week about the programs that they offer at Dignity House. So you have to stay tuned next week to hear about Dignity House. Okay. The other thing I want to tell you about is tonight we have a very, very special guest, and the special guest is virtually in the studio with us. He is a world-traveling social media sensation who is an elite, multifaceted culinary artist. He's an award-winning chef, he's a licensed mixologist, and he has had celebrity clients, and some of them you might know, like Jay Leno and Justin Bieber and more. You may have heard of his deep-fried watermelon. Yes, I said deep-fried watermelon. He is a father of 3 beautiful children, and even though he has experienced childhood trauma, he believes that it's not a life sentence. Stephen Moore, a.k.a. Trendy Chef. He is here with us. And we're going to try to get him back on the line in a minute and hear him greet you beautiful people. Hello, Trendy. Hey. We got you. Wow. Hey, and we are happy that you are here. You want to greet the beautiful people in Bermuda for us, please?
Hi, everyone in Bermuda. I'm actually excited to be there soon. I am the Trendy Chef. Food Network's
Yes.
content creator, and I am on this lovely interview that I'm excited about. And I'm excited to be in Bermuda soon. I can't wait to take some of the food, especially that fish sandwich.
Oh, yeah. It's nothing like a Bermuda fish sandwich, and there's plenty of places you can go and taste that for sure. Well, I want you all to stay tuned, and if you have others who are listening, you tell them to tune in as well. Okay, so we're going to hear Trendy in a minute, but you know what's time for? My monologue. And my monologue is entitled A Life That Wins. Some years ago, I read a book entitled A Life That Wins. The Life That Wins. It was by Watchman Nee. It was a spiritual book that introduces you to God's grace and guides you from trying to work for your salvation. Some key components were: victory is to be the Christian's normal experience, defeat is abnormal. Victory is not something that I've changed, but it's something that I have exchanged.
food,
Victory is a gift,
non-perishable
not a
food,
reward.
tools,
These and other
equipment that
powerful
you would
messages
need
that
in
would
case
help
of
a
an
person's
emergency.
Christian's
We've had
experience.
such an amazing
It definitely
response
helped me.
by our corporate partners
I
as
do
well,
recommend this
and
book,
it's
though.
actually emotional to
However,
see
tonight
the people
I
of
want to
Bermuda
talk
coming
about a
together
life
to
that
support
wins.
our sister island,
There is a
Jamaica.
phrase that
The
says
vibe
that
in
life
the
is a race.
room is
Others prefer to say
happiness.
that it's a
It
journey.
is,
There is
everyone
also
looking
the
for
phrase that
collective
life
ways
is a
where they
rat
can
race.
come together
Not
and
quite sure how
support
that rats
a
run,
purpose,
but
which this purpose
I think it
is
means a
helping
way of
Jamaica.
life where people
Everyone
are
is
caught up in a
asking
fiercely
questions. Everyone
competitive
is
struggle
being
for
helpful.
wealth and power.
Everyone is
Rush, rush,
doing
rush.
their best.
Others
The
say
best
that
word
in
I
this
can say
race,
is
it is
confidence.
not that you come
Everyone is
first
taking
or
whatever
last,
job that
but
they
at
have
least
and
you
task,
finish.
and they're putting their
I
all
would like to
into it,
say
and
that
that's
I want
more
a
than
life
what
that
we can
wins.
ask for.
What about
People
you?
are coming here
Well,
and
what do I
getting
mean by
emotional. You
that?
see people,
You have only one
breaking
life,
down
and your
because
body is made
you
up of
feel the
92
love and you
elements,
feel the
all
community
designed in a
the
way
room,
to
and
keep your
it is
physical body
infectious,
in
and
motion.
it is
And
something
if we
that
care
would
for
make
it as best
anyone
we
with a
can,
heart
we can get a lot of years from it.
Incomes are not
To prepare
keeping up with
yourself
inflation.
mentally
That's one
to
key
win,
takeaway from
you have to
government's
define what
employment
winning
statistics,
is.
according to
I
the
believe
OBA's
one way is
Vance
that you have to set clear,
Foster Skelton
definitive
has more.
goals. My
More
husband and I
jobs,
have
more
run
money
the
earned,
May
but not for
24th half
everyone.
marathon 4 times. And each time we did, we did not set out to win it. No. That was not our goal. We trained physically, but mentally, we just wanted to finish. That was a win for us. And guess what? We did. And we still got a medal. One year, I don't know if my husband minds you telling him this, but he came last. And in that race, he still got a medal. You know, heroes are some of the biggest challenges in a race. And one year, a friend and I trained with Victoria Fiddick, the 2009 female winner of that same race. And we were known as Vic's Chicks. She said that running hills is a mental thing, having that positive attitude and keep looking ahead. That was a challenge, especially over Burntiles Hill, but it worked. Beautiful people, I believe one important component is that to become a winner, you have to believe that you are a winner. Yes, there will be circumstances that feel like losses, but focus on the wins. Finally, beautiful people, choose your battles wisely so you can have a life that wins. You know, I believe that all of you are winners, so go and get your medals. We here at It's Been Said are cheering you on. A life that wins. So that's my monologue. It's short tonight, and I hope it has encouraged you. Yes, a life that wins. Now, normally, I would go to the telephone lines and ask someone to call and talk about maybe winning. But I'm so excited about having Trendy Chef here. And he's a busy guy. In fact, right now, he is actually doing some of his famous work. So we are going to go straight into our interview with Trendy Chef. So, Trendy, so excited to have you with us on the show. Now, I met you in April this year, right? Yes. And
Yeah.
I had the privilege of staying in your beautiful house in California. Yeah, I love the time that was spent there. Now, Trendy, we're going to spend this time helping our listeners to get to know who you are. So, let's begin. Your name is Trendy Chef,
Okay.
but you are Stephen Moore, right? So, I'm interested. How did you come up with the name
Yep.
Trendy Chef?
So Trendy Chef was actually given to me in culinary school.
Wow.
It was a competition of about 1,200 students. I didn't know how to cook or anything at first during my freshman semester.
Uh-huh.
So this was fast forward to junior semester, about 2 years later.
Mm-hmm.
I won an award. It was 1,200 students. I went first place.
Ooh.
And when I arrived on the stage to get my award, I actually had on some overalls with my chef coat over it and like one strap down.
Uh-huh.
And I was holding a skateboard and I had on a fedora hat. And everyone was like, "Man, you're kind of like a trendy chef."
No.
And after that, I've never patented or trademarked anything in my life. That was the first time
Uh-huh.
I did it, and I just ran with it ever since.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I tell you, you wear it well. So let's start from the
Thank you.
beginning. Yeah. So where were you born, Trendy?
So I was technically born in like Kingston, Jamaica. But I was literally, from birth, I was shipped out to Las Vegas, Nevada, a crazy place to go from Jamaica to Las Vegas, to a hospital there because my father was there. So it's kind of a weird thing because I grew up with my father. My mom shipped me out to him completely when I was 5.
Okay.
But I was still, as a kid, the story they tell me that I had a hard time breathing. I was premature, so when they shipped me over to Vegas, on my birth certificate, since I was so rushed out of Jamaica, they put Las Vegas, Nevada on my birth. And I was like, oh, okay, well, it says Las Vegas, but I was technically born in Jamaica. It was just a weird situation.
Wow,
I've been in some weird situations.
So how did you, was your mom in Jamaica during that time?
Yes.
Okay. Living there?
Yeah.
Or she's Jamaican?
Yeah. Yeah, she's Jamaican. My dad was stationed near Jamaica, and that's kind of how they met. My dad, he was an Army veteran.
Okay.
So he's traveled the world, been all over, and that's kind of how they met.
Right. So do you hold on to your Jamaican roots, heritage? Do you consider yourself?
I tried my best to learn. So I'm trying to learn more about the culture. I have some family there that I talk to.
Okay.
Every once in a while.
Right.
But yeah, I would be. I wasn't raised with my mom, so I figure if I was, kind of close to her, I would be more in tune with the Jamaican roots.
Sure.
Since I wasn't, then I'm kind of, I was raised pretty much out in America, definitely California. I went from Jamaica to Vegas to Los Angeles.
Okay, so how?
It was a culture shock in all 3 places.
I can imagine. So how long were you in Las Vegas?
In Las Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
I was in Las Vegas for, I think, about a good 4 years or so, and then the rest of the time I was in California.
So for the 4 years you were staying with your dad in Las Vegas?
Yeah, and then my dad, we moved to California.
Okay.
So I was always with my dad, and then my dad, he came to California before me. I was still in Vegas. I had sisters, older sisters out there that was to take care of me. So he kind of came to California to get his apartment together and make sure everything was pretty much organized as he took in me and my younger brother and younger sister.
Okay.
I do have 8 sisters and 2 brothers.
8 sisters. Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so where do you fit in all that?
I am, what child was that? I only have two younger siblings, and then it's me, and everyone else is older.
Everyone's older. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So what was home life like for you as a child? What was that? How would you describe home life? I mean, was the moving? You said your dad was in the military, right?
Yep. Yeah. He was his branch. He was in the Army.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the Vietnam War.
Wow.
And he was in the Watts riot.
Ooh.
So yeah, growing up, it was, so going back when my mom first, cause she was kind of holding on to us a little bit more even when I was born, pretty much in the hospital in Las Vegas. She wanted me back, so she had came to Vegas, and she had me for about a good 4 to 5 years, but my sisters was kind of watching me. My dad came to California. My older sisters was kind of watching over me.
Right.
Because my mom was on heavy drugs. So she just couldn't be the mom that she needed to be. So I just remember from 5 till, anything from 5 and under is when I was kind of with her. And all I remember is I remember one thing I would never forget. I was in a motel room with her. And I was about 5 years old, and she left me. She went to go do drugs and hang out, and I was left in this motel room by myself.
Wow.
My brothers and sisters weren't even there. I'm sure they were with my other sisters and somewhere else. It was just me alone. I just remember I woke up wet, peed on myself. Of course, I'm a kid. Kind of looked around for my mom. She wasn't there, so I knocked on the neighbor's door of the motel, asking if they see my mom. They knew who she was. She was popular in the area. People knew her for buying the most drugs and things.
Yeah.
So they were like, no, just come in here. And I just remember they kind of put a blanket over me. They didn't change me or anything, of course, because I'm sure because I was a kid and because I wasn't their kid. But
right.
I just remember watching cartoons, and I seen the sun come up, come down, no sign of my mom, and I'm still sitting there for hours, just sitting up, standing up, waiting for her to come.
Oh man, that's tough.
The next day, she come and knock on the door and kind of get me back. So those are literally the memories I have with her aren't really the best memories.
No.
I remember one day she came in the house and she was kind of shaking, kind of like she was like overdosing or something. I just remember her being so hot she had to take off her clothes, and I put a blanket over her as she shook there on the ground. I'm 5 years old. I'm rubbing her head and trying to tell her it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
So that was like my memories with her. And I grew up with nothing. I didn't have anything at all. So when she sent me out to my dad, I thought he was rich, even though he was not. he was barely making it, but he made sure he had a nice place all the time.
Yeah.
I actually never had ice cream during that time. I didn't have my first bite of ice cream until I was about six years old.
Oh my!
So he had ice cream. He was like, "You guys want ice cream?" I'm like, what is going on right now? Are you rich? He had a fireplace. It was just a small 2-bedroom apartment, but to us, he was rich.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah.
So me, my younger sister, my younger brother, we got shipped over there to him, and I just thought he was the richest guy. Everything was clean.
Sure.
The cleanest place I've ever seen in my life.
Sure.
Everything's folded neatly, and that's fast forward why I'm such a clean guy. My house is never dirty at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of like the childhood but between my mom and dad.
Did you see your mom in between the times that you were staying with your dad? Did she come to visit you? Did you see her? Did she have any connections with you?
No. After the age of 5, after she sent me there, the only time I would see her is literally on the street, if she was on the street, or if we were passing by.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a hi saying hi and bye thing.
Wow.
But after 5, it's really new memories of her.
Wow.
She's still alive today. We don't speak or anything.
Sure.
They say that a lot of my siblings forgave her, but for some reason with me and her, I've just never forgiven her. I've tried, but
that's tough.
Yeah, one day I'm hoping maybe before it's too late we'll have a connection, but right now we don't. Yeah. I even tried to check on her a couple weeks ago, and I didn't get a reply. I'm like, oh, okay, still the same.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, drugs is crazy. They will take you to places that you've never, ever even imagined. Wow. So where did you go to school? What was school like for you?
I went to school in Moreno Valley, California. That's where my dad pretty much raised us, moved to. We was in Moreno Valley pretty much my whole life. I think we officially went to Moreno Valley when I was about 8 or 9, and which is the Inland Empire. Never left, but I went to school. Was good. It was middle school, elementary. My dad always said he was a tough Army guy, so he just had his to put a roof over our head.
Right.
Make sure we were safe, and we couldn't get any of the fancy clothes.
Right.
We couldn't get any of that stuff. We had to kind of get it ourselves.
Okay.
It led me, even though we had a nice house, we had food in our refrigerator, but it kind of led me to stealing and doing all this kind of stuff because I didn't have it and other kids did. Then it led me to fighting because all the kids would make fun of my shoes, and I was a skinny guy because I didn't eat for a long time. It was when I was with my mom, I would go days and days without eating. I was still skinny. I was always been a skinny guy.
Right.
So I had to learn how to fight because everyone would make fun of me, make fun of my shoes.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. And so that's kind of how that went. My dad just kind of raised me to just be a man and make sure I'm always working out. So from a young age, I knew how to work from myself, how to try to get money to get things that I wanted.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I have a roof over your head, and you gonna get fed, and you're gonna be safe in here. But other than the extra toys and the the extra stuff, we didn't really get into that.
Right. So really, it was like I've given you the basics, but the rest you're gonna have to find a way. So, what kind of jobs did you do as a kid?
At 14, 13, I swung a sign for these new model homes. I was swinging a sign for like 8-9 hours a day, and I would only get paid like $100 every 2 weeks, not every week. So it was like $200 a month.
Okay, so you're gonna have to explain. You're talking to the Bermudian audience, so you have to explain to us what do you mean by swinging a sign.
So when there's new homes for sale, there's just a sign with the name on it saying new homes, and we have to kind of stand at a corner, like by the street sign.
Okay.
And we have to swing the sign and tell people, hey, new homes over here. You guys come check them out.
Wow.
And, that's when people come in and buy their homes. But it's funny because now, thinking about it, we're swinging the signs for pennies, and we're getting people to go over to these homes that cost at the time, maybe back then, $200,000, $300,000, whatever it was. And they're buying the homes, and we're only getting $200 a month.
Wow. Wow. Pittance.
So that was my first job. And then second job, I worked at a grocery store called Food for Less. And I would push carts and put away perishables. It was a grocery store. I did that for a few years as well. After that, it was at that time I was turning 15. That's when kind of like a lot of the trouble started, because that's when one of my older sisters got shot and killed. She got shot and killed on the freeway in Las Vegas, Nevada. She was her boyfriend was one of the toughest gangbangers in the state of Nevada. I'm talking about scary dude. He had a lot of people after him. So he had this black car that had really limo tint on the window.
Right.
And everybody knew the car. He let her drive the car to the grocery store, knowing that it was a lot of people looking for the car, the enemies that didn't like him.
Sure.
So when they did see the car, they shot the car up 20, 30 times as she was inside. And then when, I guess the guy must have felt bad years later, because when it happened, shot up the car, she fell out of the car, and the guy kind of looked like he saw a ghost, because he was like, that's not what he meant to do. He meant to aim for the guy that owns the car.
Oh my goodness.
But he couldn't see inside.
Right.
Wow, that is so during
tragic.
that time, I just spiraled downhill. I started hanging out with gangbangers. I didn't believe in anything. I was just like, you know what? They took my sister. Let me just be bad out here in the street. So I just was fighting, stealing, doing everything. And my dad, like I say, he's a tough army guy. He don't cry or anything. And I see how that broke him down, losing my sister. And then with me getting in trouble, it broke him down even more. And I looked over, I was like, you know what? I'm hurting you even more.
Sure.
And then what kind of was like the end of me, kind of like, I still was hanging in the streets a little bit, but we got in this huge fight with like another race, Mexican race. And it was like blacks versus Mexican. That was huge in California, Southern California. Like we would just fight each other. So what I did, I was fighting, and then I look over and I see someone kind of reaching in their sweats, huge sweats on, like extra large, and they had a shotgun inside. They pulled the shotgun out of their sweats, pointed it directly at my face, and pulled the trigger. And then when they pulled the trigger, the gun jammed on them. And when it jammed, my eyes opened up wide and their eyes opened up wide, and they just ran. And I was still so in shock that my friends had to kind of grab me, like, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
But after that, I was like, you know what? That was like that was a close calling. I mean, the double barrel shotgun to your face. If that gun would have went off, we wouldn't be talking right now.
No.
Yes.
What do you put that down to? What do you think? It's something purposeful, something sort of spiritual, magical? Like what was going through your mind? Like, how did this happen and not happen?
Yeah, that right there was all God, man. God didn't. It wasn't my time. that was it. I was like, you know what? I have to change my life. I was like, I have to do something because I played sports. I was great in basketball. I had offers, and I was still getting in trouble. I was like, well, basketball is not getting me out of trouble. I'm still in the street. So I was literally sleeping one day, and it was like 1 a.m. I left the TV on, and that's when I saw an infomercial on culinary school. And I'm like, well, culinary school? I mean, at this point, I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to boil an egg. I don't know how to do anything. So I'm like, let me just sign up and see what it's about.
Right.
And and that's when the whole culinary school came about.
We have gang problems here in Bermuda. I can just imagine. You're talking about California, and we just know movies and hear stories and news things about gangs. How do you get out of a gang in California? What's the process? You just stop going, stop attending? Bye guys, I'm leaving.
Yeah, you just grow up, and there was a lot of, with me going to culinary school and changing my life, a lot of the guys were either making fun of me or, oh man, you're a punk. And I was like, you know what? If getting your life together is being a punk, then I'll be a punk. If that means you're a punk by wanting better with your life, and that's it. I stopped hanging out at the park, so I just stopped answering their phone calls. I started hanging out with an entire different crowd, a crowd of people that wanted to do things with their lives. We had people that wanted to be lawyers and doctors. I was like, this is cool. Like, I'm hanging around everyone that wants to do something with their life instead of hanging around people at the park. The only thing in California, especially, the only thing they do, gangbangers, they hang out the park and they wait on their enemies to come by so they can have a shootout or a fight. And in my mind, I'm like, why would you hang out at a park where they know where you're at, and you're just sitting at the park for 8 hours, 9 hours a day, waiting on some action.
Right.
And that just wasn't the lifestyle that I wanted. And I fell in love with culinary, and then the rest was history.
Wow. So you went to culinary school. Where was the culinary school at, and how long was the actual process?
So it was in Riverside, California. It was called Riverside Culinary Academy.
Okay.
And it was a smaller school because I couldn't afford much. My dad's Army stuff took care of some of it,
okay,
but not all. So I couldn't go to one of those major schools that was like $100,000 a year. This school was only like $20,000 a year or something like that, which it would cover. So I got my, guess you could say like a culinary certificate. That's what you get in the first year.
Right.
And then after that, I had to continue to go to culinary school. I went to the University of Riverside.
Okay.
To get my business. I have associates in business.
Okay.
I have associates in culinary science. So the full process took about 4 years.
Wow. So once you got a taste of this, you liked it? Did you think you were good at it? Is anybody?
Yeah. I had no idea I was good at it because I've never done it. So my first year was kind of rough because everyone grew up with their moms and grandmothers in the kitchen and they knew the basics. With me, I didn't know anything. I had to crack an egg and keep the yolk whole, and it took me 6 months. And this was about 100 eggs a day. I could not do it for anything. I was getting laughed at. People were like, you can't crack an egg? What are you doing? You'll never be a chef.
Yeah.
So that kind of motivated me. When I hear stuff like that, it motivated me.
Sure.
And this is college, so we're young, college, everyone's out partying, having fun, and I never went out. I didn't party. I was
just there cracking eggs. Just cracking eggs.
I was in some,
Just cracking eggs.
Yeah. I was still practicing, and I had something called the Flavor Bible.
Okay.
Which is very important in culinary. It just shows you pretty much everything that you need to know. I studied that thing. I read it back to back, the entire book, and this was a huge book. And I just fell in love with it. And then that's when, fast forward to junior semester, I won that competition of 1,200 people, and I never really been anywhere. I didn't have anything. So with me winning that competition, I was able to go to Thailand for 4 months.
Well, tell us about, before you go to Thailand, tell us about the competition. What competition was it? What type of competition?
What was what?
What was the competition like? You said you won a competition. What was the competition?
Oh, yeah. So the competition was 1,200 students. Basically, hundreds will get eliminated each day. And they just had certain dishes that we had to make. So, for example, everyone ate a seared lamb with a celery root puree. So we all had to make the same dish. My dish won. Okay, now everyone make filet mignon with a butterscotch sauce. Okay, so boom. So I did that one. So every day was a dish that they told us to make, and then they would have these judges judge each plate, and then someone to get eliminated every single time. And they were looking for presentation, flavor, taste, pretty much everything. They said I had the full package. They loved everything that I was doing.
What year was this, Trendy?
This was 2011.
Okay, wow. And the competition sent you off to Thailand.
Yep, Thailand. I was in Phuket for a few months. Then I went over to Pattaya for about a month. But I was out there again, how everyone was partying in college. They went out there. They started partying. While everyone was out partying, I actually went to the local restaurants and asked the chef if I can wash the dishes. I'll do it for free as long as I can see the kitchen from where I'm at. I just want to see what the chefs are doing. They loved that so that they said, forget the dishes, come every day and stand next to the chef, take notes, and see what he's doing. So I did that in Thailand and Florence, Italy as well.
Now, how did you get to Florence?
That was a part of so the competition, the prize was to go to both places. So it was to go to Thailand for about 3 or 4 months, and then from there you had to go directly to Florence, Italy, because that's where a lot of food originated from, was Italy. So you had to go over to Italy and learn the pastas from scratch and learn the sauces. And so I went over there directly after Thailand. I went directly to Italy.
So how did you feel growing up in Los Angeles and in America, and then going to these exotic places? What was in your mind? What were you thinking outside of the fact of,
it was like a dream, and my family couldn't believe it. They were like, you're not out of the country. We don't go out of the country. Like,
really?
We don't lead anywhere. A lot of my family, a lot of them, the furthest that they've been was Las Vegas, which is only a 4-hour drive, 5-hour drive, 4 to 5 hour drive from Los Angeles.
Right.
So we haven't been anywhere. I was very, very small when I came from Jamaica. Very small. I didn't know. I was not even a day old. I was still younger than a day old. So,
yeah.
We never really been anywhere. None of us never traveled. So that was the first time, and it just felt like a dream. It was different. The food was different. The people were nice. The culture was different. I was like, where am I at? This is insane.
Wow. Amazing. So you come back from Florence, Italy, and now you're thinking, what next? What were you going to do?
Yeah, when I came back, I was just so excited. I'm like, you know what? Let me just work. Let me keep working. So from culinary school, my first job was actually on the Pink's hot dog truck. Shout out to Celia Smith. I just worked with her actually about 2 weeks ago.
Really?
So she's my mentor. She was my boss back then. Coming out of culinary school, a lot of people laugh because they're like, "You want to make hot dogs out of culinary school?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want to learn. I want to get into the real world." So cooking for her, making hot dogs for about 3 years. She also had a catering company called Family Affair Catering, and she put me as a head chef there. She said, "I know you want to really cook real food. I have this catering. This is what she's telling me. I have this catering menu for you." She slaps it on the table and say, "Cook this. I'll be back." And I'm like, okay. So I cooked it. She took it out to the client, and she came back. She said, "You want to know who you just cooked for?" I was like, "Sure." And she said, "You just cooked for Jay Leno." I was like, "What?" And then Jay Leno came inside, and was like, this is the best food I've had. And
Wow.
he hired me a few more times after that. And it was amazing. And after that, I was like, you know what? I sat down with her and I said, I quit. She's like, what do you mean you quit? I said, I've learned a lot from you. I've been working for you for years.
Yeah.
I told her I've seen the numbers because I did all the books on, what we were making in a profit.
Right.
And I told her, I said, we did there's a huge festival. The biggest festival in California is called Coachella Music Festival.
Mm-hmm.
And all the celebrities there, everyone's there. That's why I met a lot of celebrities as well, giving out like my number. I didn't even have business cards. I was just writing my number down on a piece of paper. And then she made $1.2 million selling hot dogs in 3 weeks.
What?
And that was profit. That was after paying everyone. So that was her profit. Her take home was $1.2 million. And that's when I told her, look, I quit. And I said, no disrespect to you because you're the boss. You deserve all the money because you created the company.
Sure.
But me seeing the numbers of you making $1.2 million and I'm making $2,000 in a month, I was like, I gotta go out and do my own thing. And she respected it. She was mad for a minute because I was her head chef.
Oh yeah,
but
most definitely.
I told her, look, I have to do this. And it didn't work out as planned as far as me just going out, starting my own thing. I had to work for Michelin star restaurants. I had to really get my foot in the door because the only thing I knew was hot dogs. And then the culinary part of it was her catering company.
Okay.
So I had to really get into these big kitchens and these fancy kitchens and learn more. And I only did that to elevate my own business.
Sure.
I would be there learning. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go full-fledged and do my own business. But what made me do that is I ran into a very, very, it was a racist moment for me.
Wow.
I was in this restaurant. I just became sous chef. It's the best time of my life. I'm enjoying it. And on my first day as a sous chef, I look on the table and the executive chef that was above me was like, hey, congratulations, I got you a watermelon. And I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, okay, watermelon, that's fine. I mean, I love watermelon. Cool, just put it to the side.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh yeah, and I got you a grape soda. And I'm like, everybody knew I didn't drink soda. My whole life, I just was never a soda person.
Sure, okay.
So I haven't drank soda in like 15 years or so. I've been sipping. And I was like, just put it over there. I got to get to work. I'm excited. And he grabbed me and he was like, oh no, I'm not done. I'm like, okay. He's like, I have fried chicken for you. I said, whoa. I see what's going on here. And he was, but mind you, he's white. He's a white guy doing all this.
Sure.
I look on the table. I'm like, fried chicken, watermelon, and grape soda. This is, and I told him, is this supposed to be like a black thing? And he said, yeah, this is what you people celebrate with. I'm like, you people? I'm like,
you
whoa.
people.
I'm like,
wow, those are cutting up
and
words.
then I just was like, I was so shocked. And literally that same day, I didn't even get to work in their kitchen as a sous chef because I ended up quitting that same day. Like maybe 10 servers quit on them too because they were like, they was racist. They called the chef racist. They were scratching him on his face. They were like, they were fighting him, and I'm just still shocked. I'm like blacked out at this time. They grabbed me and they're like, we're leaving now. And I'm like, whoa, okay. And that day I looked at my bank account. I had $1,500 total to my name.
Wow.
So what I did was buy like a pop-up tent, like a 10 by 10 tent with my logo. Got my logo on it. I got like a little fryer, some tables. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start my own business called the Trendy Chef Catering. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just do that. And I ended up popping up this food stand. And I'm telling you, a line down the street, I made, I only had, so out of the $1,500 I had in my account, I spent $1,300 on this setup. And I had $200 left and rent was due in like 4 days. And I was like, oh man, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And this long line, I ended up making like $3,000 in 1 day. And I was like, whoa, this is what happens when you work for yourself. And kind of how my entire company got started.
Wow.
From me having that racial moment.
Sure.
This guy's, and I just started my own company.
Yeah,
And I never looked back.
that turned you around. They said, "Oh no, this is not necessary. I don't have to go this road." Wow. So that's how Trendy Chef catering business came about.
And that's how it came about.
Yeah, and it's still going strong.
Still going strong. We're here now. My team is amazing. They're actually in there. On the interview, they're in there catering for a movie premiere right now.
Wow. So how did we get to the celebrity chef? What was that story? How did that come about?
So the celebrity chef came about because I did something real silly. I deep fried water on the internet.
Deep fried water?
Deep fried water. The first ever chef. I know.
Okay, so that's interesting.
Person stops and they're like, water. How do you deep fry water? And it's from a water bottle, like literally from a water bottle into a bowl. So in culinary school, one of my favorite things that I learned was gastronomy, and we learned how to gelatize things.
Okay.
So I learned how to gelatize. I put water in a bowl. I learned how to gelatize it, and I took an ice cream scooper, and it scooped up as this water ball. And I was like, you know what? Let me get flour, bread. And I did it. It was a success. It was very dangerous. And it's dangerous because if there's a hole in the gelatin and that water hits that hot oil, it immediately will go over and it will start a fire that you cannot put out.
Okay. So people listening, don't do that. I'm telling the listeners, please don't do that, beautiful people.
Yeah. It was insane, but my son, and this was when TikTok was actually called Magically, wasn't called TikTok at the time. My son woke me up and he was like, "Dad, what's going on?" I'm like, "What do you mean, son? What, you okay?" He's like, "You got like 5 million views on that post." I'm like, "What? What does that mean?" And he was like, "I don't know what it means. We were lost. We didn't know what was going on."
Right.
And then like an hour later, he comes back to me. He's like, "Dad, you're at 15 million." I'm like, "Oh." And I'm like, what is happening right now? I didn't know nothing about the internet. I look at my email. It's all kind of emails from agents, TV shows. I'm like, what is going on right now?
My goodness.
And and it just kept going up. It hit 50 million views.
Ooh.
And I was like, okay, what? Like, I don't know. And then my mentor, I got introduced to my mentor, Chef Andre Rush, which is the head chef, was the head chef of the White House for 21 years. Then I got this mentor. I looked up to a black head chef of the White House. I was just like, this is amazing. Supermarket Stakeout with Alex Guinness-Shelley and Bobby Flay heard about me. They said, we have this show called Supermarket Stakeout where you have random ingredients and you do random things with it. And we saw your post and you'll fit perfectly. And they said, we don't reach out to anyone. This was a Food Network wrote me. They said, we don't reach out to anyone. People, they sign the application and then we have to call them if they qualify. But we were so interested in you that we ended up reaching out to you to be on the show. You don't have to, of course, you have to sign paperwork and stuff. You don't have to audition. You don't have to do anything.
Right.
Like, whoa. And then, and everything, so I was just sky high, calling my family. Everything was great. And on my way there, it's like every bad thing was happening. I almost missed my plane. When I finally get there, they tell me that my plane is canceled. And I had to be there that same day. If I wasn't there that same day, then I wouldn't have been on the show.
Sure.
So my flight was getting canceled. The Food Network actually rebooked my flight without me knowing real fast because they heard about it before me. And then when I get there, I'm finally in Gilbert, Arizona. I land, and these chefs are kind of laughing. I'm like, what are you guys laughing at? They're like, you only brought one knife? I'm like, yeah, my chef knife. That's all I need. It's like, you don't need a paring knife. You don't need your steel to sharpen it, nothing. I was like, nope, I sharpened it before I came. And they were all so confused, and this was my favorite knife. So I'm like, this is all I need.
Yeah.
And they had their whole chef kit and all these knives and butcher knives that they didn't really use. So I'm like, yeah, all I need is my chef knife. And then fast forward to that, I end up winning that show with my one chef knife.
One chef knife. Wow.
Yeah. And for those that don't know what the show is, it's supermarket stakeout where people just from the grocery store, everyday shoppers, they're shopping. They don't have plastic bags. They have paper bags, so you can't see inside. That store only has paper bags. So you have to, when you see the people walking out with their groceries, not knowing what's in their cart, you have to buy their cart. And can you still hear me?
I can still hear you. Yep, you're clear.
Yep, you have to buy their groceries. They'll tell you the first round is a noodle round. You have to use noodles. And I bought two carts. And I didn't have noodles in either cart. And I was the only chef that didn't have noodles. And I'm running out of money. They give you like $500 for the entire 3 rounds.
Sure.
I spent half of that on the first round. So I'm like, I don't have any noodles. So I was like, you know what? I see zucchini. I see a spiralizer. Let me do zucchini noodles, which is zoodles. And I ended up winning the first round. And they thought it was genius. They said, you use zucchini. You're the only one that didn't have noodles, and the flavor was there.
Wow.
And so I ended up winning that entire TV show.
Amazing. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, because if people were to go onto Trendy Chef's Instagram, you're going to see him do the craziest things. I mean, out of this world, but amazing because it's actually food and it looks delicious. But you think of the ingredients and thinking, how did you get there? So I know this station is called Magic. You literally do magic with the food. So how did you meet Gordon Ramsay? How did that happen? The show was with Bobby Flay and Alex Guinness-Shelley, and then Gordon Ramsay, I was a part of another production, a small production that didn't make it to TV, but we're still actually working on that, so I don't know if they will let me say the name yet. But he was on set of that show, and he heard about Supermarket Stakeout. He saw it, and of course, Bobby Flay and Gordon Ramsay are like the 2 top chefs. Like they're known as the 2 top chefs around the world. Really, of course,
now,
yeah.
As far as Food Network, they know their names, so they were like, "Man, this is amazing. You're gonna do big things." So that's kind of how I met Gordon Ramsay. And Bobby Flay, really cocky guy. He shook my hand and congratulated me on the win.
Right.
And I told him, "You're next." And he said, "What do you mean you're next?" I said, "I want to beat you next." He's like, "What? You're gonna beat the best? I'm the best. You have to work up to that." I said, "No, I want you." And he said he's gonna send. He said he was supposed to send his agents were supposed to send some paperwork so I can get on the show.
Right.
Bobby Flay, which I was going to get on that show, but they only allow you to do like 1 show a year.
Okay.
When you win.
Okay.
So I ended up, instead of picking that, I ended up picking Chopped on the Food Network. So I ended up doing Chopped. So 2026, I will be doing Beat Bobby Flay. So I'm excited for that.
Ooh, man. Celebrity indeed. That is amazing. So far, what would you classify as your most memorable experience with everything you've done? We've got a couple other things we want to talk about, but as far as your career is concerned, what would you say has been your most memorable experience?
My most memorable, I would say, so it's a show. It's a show called Smart Guy with a guy named Taj Mowry that I grew up watching. Whenever I was able to watch TV, I would watch this guy, Smart Guy. So I being able to cook at Coachella, I was standing in line. I look over and I see Taj Mowry from Smart Guy. I'm like, whoa, what is going on? Hey, guy, how you doing? And that was a big moment for me because I'm like, anything's possible. Being in these rooms and meeting people. Then from there, I started meeting so many celebrities that now I would say it doesn't excite me, but it's like seeing a regular person now. I see so many of them; they know who I am.
Right.
But I think now it's big when they tell me they've seen one of my videos or something like that. And a lot of my friends keep saying, "Why do you keep saying those celebrities? You're a celebrity." I'm like, I don't like to put myself in that category. I'm a down to earth guy. I'm a regular guy.
Yeah, you are. You're a humble guy.
Yeah, being in stores a lot, almost every single day. Even this morning, some guy, even an older guy. He was like 75 years old.
Sure.
Saw me in a grocery store, and he was like, "Hey, you're that chef from the Food Network." I'm like, "Oh yeah, hi." So I sign autographs all the time, and it's still kind of surreal for me.
I can imagine. And you do now use social media to your advantage. Am I right? Yeah.
Yep. Social media has been big for me. I've partnered with huge companies like Kellogg's, Shell's gas station, Amazon Prime, you name it. I've worked with almost everyone, and it's been amazing. It's definitely, it changed my life.
Wow. Yeah, and it's changed other people's lives as well. Let's talk about
and I tell people all the time that's what I do it for. There's no sense of being rich or making money or doing that if you're not going to give back. So I give back to my community. I'm from Moreno Valley. That's a place where I had trouble. That's a place where I went to culinary school, which is Riverside, which is like 10 minutes away. So I did something with the Mayor Ulysses of Moreno Valley. We started an at-risk youth school, cooking school for the students.
Awesome.
I've done free cooking classes around the world. I taught at many schools. I think probably over 40 or 50 schools now that I've spoke at. Juvenile hall detention centers, I went in there and spoke to those kids. I've even given some of those kids, upon release, opportunities to work for me.
Wow.
So my whole thing is just giving back. Giving back is everything to me.
Yeah. And that's important. These community things. Because I actually saw not too long ago you were helping people to get food, because I know in America there's these things about people not getting their means to be able to take care of themselves, and you were putting out something where people can go and get, food, just basic food. Yeah.
Yeah. It's something out here called EBT. It's just a food card that they give you if you're in low income situations. And right now, during the government shutdown, they took that away from families, families with kids, families with babies. So I'm giving out free food. I'm partnering with, if they call it the Brunch House in Temecula. Shout out to the Brunch House. We're doing something within the next week or so where we're going to make hundreds and hundreds of plates for people, giving out free bread, free meals, and everything.
Awesome. Now, Trendy, you're a father. Tell us a little bit about being a father. What's fatherhood like for you? And tell us about your kids.
I have 3 children. My son is 6'4", almost 6'5". He's only 15 years old. Amazing basketball player.
Of course.
That's my guy right there.
Yeah. What's his name?
Yeah, and he just size 14 shoe, smart guy.
What's his
my kids have.
What's his name? What's his name?
Oh, Leyland.
Leyland. Shout out to Leyland. Yeah.
And that's Laelen. A lot of people say Leland, but it's Leyland.
Leyland. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, all my kids are straight A students. They're doing good. I have a 12-year-old named Avea, and she's in gymnastics.
Wow.
She just loves, her favorite food in the world is sushi. And then I have a 4-year-old named Justice Promise. That's my 4-year-old, and she's just a handful. She's smart, very, very smart for her age. And fatherhood is amazing. It's every day. It's never a dull moment. That's why when people say that there's no such thing as someone being too busy, I tell them to please walk in my shoes for one day, or just follow me with a camera. From when I wake up, I'm packing lunches. I make sure everybody's brushing their teeth. I'm dropping off 3 kids at 3 different schools in 3 different cities.
Wow.
So every day I do 2 hours of driving just for drop off. And then I do another 2 hours. So really 4 hours of driving just for school drop offs. Every single day. I come back, I do contracts, catering contracts. I do social media. So my life is very busy, and I'm excited to kind of, because I've been through a lot this year. I lost my stepmom. Is my mom, because she was there for me from the moment I got to my father's house when I was 6. I lost her about 6 months ago, and I lost my father about going on a month and a half now.
Wow.
and that was hard for me. I stopped posting on social media. I stopped hanging out with friends. I stopped working. I was just that was my best friend. Every day we spoke. And then I saw myself just really being down, being weak, and I see that my kids were being affected by they're already hurt from their grandfather passing, but then they're hurt because they see their dad just in bed all the time, not showering,
oh my gosh,
not speaking to anyone. It was tough, so I had to, it took about over a month. I just started working again, maybe a week ago or so. And once I opened my calendar back up, it just blew up. Everyone was waiting on it, but I got a great support system.
Great.
All of my clients waited for me. I had 5 or 6 new business deals with big brands. They waited for me. Social media is excited that I'm back. I'm just back, and I'm using it as motivation. I'm actually coming up with a man's group where man can sit at my home personally. Good. And we can all sit, talk, have food, and just express yourself.
Sure. And that's important.
Yeah, so I'm coming up with a man's group in the first day will be like a week from now.
Awesome. Wow.
My life has been a blessing, but then there's been ups and downs.
Of
but
course.
That's, a lot of people are going to go up and down. You just gotta make sure you don't stay down.
No.
Losing a parent that close, it's easy to go to drugs or go to drinking or, just lose your mind, and you have to just be stronger than that and say you have a purpose out here. So it took me over a month to figure it out, and I did. I'm glad I figured it out now and not later on down the line.
Yeah. I mean, part of your introduction to some of the things I've read about you is that trauma is going to come, and it could set you back, but it's not your life. Your life is living, is giving back, and as far as we're concerned, we have to continue. And your father has poured into you his legacy, along with your stepmother, and now you have to pour into your children. That's important. That's very important. And taking your time to grieve, and that's something that we believe in. It's been said is mental health, mental wellness. And you spoke on that, and it's very important that we recognize when we're grieving, and let it take its course. So you're coming to Bermuda. What's that about?
Yeah, I'm excited. Shout out to a great guy, Gianluca.
Oh, okay.
Gianluca, man. He said Gianluca set up some amazing things for me out there. He's doing a school tour. I'll be talking to the diabetes committee. I'm going to be putting my spin. I don't know. Should I say what we're going to do?
Probably not yet. Not yet. Say the magic.
Yeah. We're going to be doing some amazing things. It's crazy because I'm going to be going for a month, because before that I'm going to Thailand for 2 weeks.
Safe journeys, man.
I only land back here for 2 days, and then I pack up and go to Bermuda 2 days later. So I'm going to be gone for a month total. 2 weeks in Bermuda.
Awesome.
And 2 weeks in Thailand.
Awesome. Yeah, well, this is where your journey is. It's about this. It's not just America can't just have you. They have to share you. It's important.
Yeah.
Wow. We're excited to have you. So excited to have you to be part of what's going to be happening in the month of December. So beautiful people, stay tuned. Trendy Chef, you've heard the story. And it's an awesome story. As he has given it to you, is how you will receive it. What an awesome story. Thank you, Trendy. Thank you for giving us that. We followed you through that whole journey, right from Kingston, Jamaica, right up now until Moreno Valley, California, and everywhere in between. As I said, your cooking is a magical experience. We sit there wide-eyed and our mouths are just there wanting to taste it, but our eyes are also taken in by all that you do. And we know that when you come to Bermuda, you're going to pass that on to our young people and to the people of Bermuda. So thank you very much for your story. And now, beautiful people, we have a little time. We're opening up telephone lines on Magic 102.7 FM for any questions or thoughts for Trendy Chef. The phone line's 297-1027 or 1-888-257-9086. You can call us if you've got any thoughts or questions of Trendy Chef. And you'll definitely be exposed to anything. Once you hear what's happening in December, you'll see him in person. So Trendy, your catering. You even have you have your own wine, is it, that I think you have? Am I right? You have a signature wine with your name on it?
I have we're working on the wine, but I have the seasoning. I have a peach barbecue.
Oh yeah, the seasoning. Yeah.
That I'm coming out with as well.
Some new what? Sorry.
What?
You said the seasoning. What was the other thing after that? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Oh, peach barbecue.
Peach barbecue. Wow. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's seasoning.
That's actually what they are serving in there too. We're doing peach barbecue meatballs, peach barbecue chicken. Yes, that's really an amazing sauce.
Ooh, yeah. Amazing indeed. Wow. Well, Trendy, we're going to be looking forward to you and all that you bring to Bermuda. And thank you. And on behalf of It's Been Said and the beautiful listeners of It's Been Said, thank you for sharing your story. I know you're a busy person, taking out time in your busy schedule to tell us your story. We're just excited about it. So we appreciate you coming on and sharing and using more so your entrepreneurial skills. That is really amazing. That truly is amazing. So thank you, beautiful people, once again to It's Been Said. Everyone is born into their once upon a lifetime story, and we live to experience our happily ever after. What about you? Trendy has. If you have a story that you believe is uplifting, please send me an email at coolcat, KOOLKAT00@hotmail.com, and we'll get in contact with you. Thank you to you for listening in. And you can follow us now on Facebook on It's Been Said with Cat Wade or Instagram with It's Been Said with Cat Wade. Next week is going to be just as special as we have another very special guest. We meet together every week to hear everyday stories of ordinary people who have overcome challenges, finding ways to cope and to live extraordinary lives, because as we say, a negative mind will never give you a positive life. So until next time, stay positive.